Close your eyes. Now imagine opening them again. Not in a warm bed, not under a modern roof, but deep inside a limestone cave, somewhere beneath the frozen expanse of ice-aged Europe, 30,000 years ago. The air is bitter cold. The faint red embers of a dying fire cast long, dancing shadows on the walls. The smell of wood smoke and dried pine needles rests heavy in the air. Your family is sleeping soundly beside you. Outside, a relentless storm has raged for days. The first warning isn't a sight. It isn't even a sound. It's a low, heavy vibration beneath your back. Miles upstream, an entire natural dam of glacial ice and debris had just violently collapsed. You couldn't see the millions of gallons of water bursting through the valley, but the earth beneath your cave already felt its weight. Before you can even reach for your wooden spear, the flood strikes. A freezing wall of mud, melted glacier, and sharp stone violently surges through the entrance. Absolute, terrifying chaos. The water splashes over the hearth, and the scent of warm. Smoke is instantly replaced by the suffocating smell of wet ash and soaked earth. The fire dies in a fraction of a second, plunging the cave into total pitch-black darkness. Modern geologists know that during the late Pleistocene, sudden glacial lake outbursts could release walls of water with enough force to reshape entire river, valleys in a matter of minutes. To an ancient family in the dark, it felt like the end of the world. Rushing water quickly surges past your ankles. Within seconds, it reaches your knees. Then your waist. Then your chest. Ice-cold currents tear through the cave floor, sweeping away hand-carved bone tools, animal furs, and precious food stores in seconds. In the dark, you call out for your family, but only the deafening roar of the river answers back. There was no fighting the current, no outrunning it. There was only one direction left. Up, incline, or disappear. Your fingers go completely numb as you dig your fingernails into the cold, slippery rock wall, pulling your heavy, shivering body upward inch by inch. Below your feet, the water continues to rise with terrifying speed. Every sound in the darkness could belong to someone you loved, or someone already swept out into the freezing night. And as you finally reach a narrow stone ledge near the ceiling, gasping for air, your lungs burning, your body trembling, you look down into the roaring black void below. By sunrise, the cave that had sheltered your tribe for generations would no longer exist, and the wilderness outside was waiting. The sun rises, not with warmth, but with a cold, pale light piercing through the morning fog. The roar of the rushing flood has quieted down to a low, muddy trickle. You slowly crawl out from the high stone ledge near the roof of the cave. Your hands are raw, scraped, and bleeding. Your body is violently shivering from hypothermia. As you step down into the thick, freezing mud, the reality of your new world hits you. The place you called home for years is buried under feet of brown sludge, broken river rocks, and uprooted trees. Your tribe's food stores? Gone. The hand-carved bone needles, animal pelt blankets, and heavy wooden spears? Swept away into the deep river valley. Out of the dozen members of your small family band, only a few familiar faces slowly emerge from the darkness of the high ledges, battered and soaked. There is no time to mourn what was lost, because in the Pleistocene wilderness, cold and hunger kill far faster than water. The ground is soaked, and every piece of firewood within miles is drenched. Without fire, the coming night will be fatal. Modern experimental archaeologists have shown that. Ice Age humans possessed incredible resilience and emergency survival techniques. They didn't just panic, they adapted instantly. You scrape together dry bark from the underside of fallen pine trees, and using 2 sharp pieces of flint rock saved in a small leather pouch around your waist, you strike them repeatedly until a single, fragile spark catches onto the dry moss. A tiny plume of smoke rises. Fire is reborn, but shelter is still missing. With the main cave ruined and unstable, the remaining tribe members must move higher up the ridge, using broken tree branches and heavy mammoth bones to build a temporary lean-to shelter. As the sun begins to set over the altered landscape, you look out across a valley that no longer resembles the one you knew yesterday. The flood took your home, your tools, and your comfort in a single night. But it didn't take your will to survive. Because human history isn't just a story of disasters. It's the story of those who climbed out of the dark. The storm passed, but the world left behind was completely transformed. As the sun sets, casting long, golden shadows across the mud-filled valley, you stand at the edge of the high cliff. Below you, the cave that protected your ancestors for generations is buried forever. The bone tools, the soft fur blankets, the safe hearth, all gone in a single night. In the Pleistocene wilderness, a disaster like this usually meant one thing: death. Without shelter, without fire, without food, a tribe was as good as extinct. But as you look around at the surviving members of your family, you don't see broken spirits. You see the sharp flint rocks in your hands. You see the smoke rising from the newly built fire on the ridge. You see the temporary shelter made of mammoth bones and pine branches standing tall against the wind. Ancient humans didn't survive the Ice Age because they were the strongest or the fastest creatures on Earth. They survived because they were adaptable. Because when nature pushed them into the dark, they learned how to strike a spark. The flood tore away the past, but it couldn't destroy the knowledge passed down from generation to generation. As night falls, the tribe gathers around the warm glow of the new fire. The cold wind still howls across the valley, but high above the ruined cave, a new story begins. Because as long as there is a spark in the dark, humanity will always find a way forward.